opening of Parliament. The state opening of Parliament marks the formal start of the parliamentary year. So what happened yesterday in UK is what indicate that the government have just started. And the monarch speech, I have been there few times. I think I met Tani Momsimiti from an invite in Latin Losiberi, the state opening. Very, very massive event. I'll read that again. Because some Nigerians do not, you want us to remain Nigerians rather, but you are still the same people that love the British ways of life. Before you are given a British passport, you have to swear allegiance. I know some of you don't care about what is happening in UK, but at least you watch their football match. You watch the Premier League. Whatever you love in UK, whatever you feel, whether you hate them or you like them, remember that they created the system in Nigeria that is now having a big impact on we, the indigenous people. And that is why self-determination is different from what we call the politics being played today. So let's go again. State opening of Parliament. The state opening of Parliament marks the formal start of the parliamentary year, and the monarch speech set out the government agenda for the coming section. I want you to take note of that. Anybody, a lot of politicians. If there's any other problem, I can look into it. Mr. Koiki Moshifede London, I don't know about that. So whoever is saying, please, I need your help. As long as it's not financial help, I don't do, like Cocoon Foundation, Argala Gabriel and all that. I don't do that on this platform. So you can send me a message through the DM. I'll pick it up probably tomorrow, not tonight anymore. So to financial problem or my Mufe was abroad. I don't know about all that. But any other thing, we can look into it and see. If you're gonna need the work. Ṣé mọ̀ pé bó ṣe jẹ́ kí àwọn ọba tiwa náà máa sọ fún wa pé ọ̀n ní máa fún wa ní opening speech or the agenda government wọn fún next year. So what the British did was, I want to create a system eléyìí. But they told us, no, you go. I mean, they gave us a regional government anyway, but the regional government was pulled down. But even though they gave us that regional government, they played against we and the Igbos. So that's why sometimes, Tayin Kamban, so when Igbo, they, Agunrosi pull down the regional government and all that. My own argument is, was the British monarch system or the British Empire, let me be using British Empire, where was the British Empire honest from the day one when Zik, Awolowo, Tafa Balewa, Ahmadu Bello, when they were seeking for the independence of Nigeria? Was the British Empire honest with it? Or they just decide that it seems that two of them would be very, very intelligent, so we will play around them? Because let's go back a few steps. A lot of the argument I've read is, or I've heard is, we can't trust them all because they pull down the regional government that we got. But was the regional government itself an honest gift? Because what I have read again is that there was a 1957, 1958, Lancaster House. Why are we not talking about that? Why is it that we want to talk about the pull down of the regional government, but we don't want to talk about the negotiation of what led to the independence of Nigeria in 1960? Because what we heard, from what we have heard with evidence, the British rigged the first election in 1959. That means if the British never rigged the election, there's tendency that maybe Awolowo would have been the first premier or whatever. So right there's a flag. So if people are criticizing Agunrose for pulling down the regional government, why are we not criticizing the British for rigging the election that would have gave Awolowo the upper edge? That's number one. Number two, the reason why today the North continue to tell every Nigerian that they have the highest in number is a false information. The British rigged the first census to favor the North. So you can see that we want to fight. We don't like the Igbos, but our long money is like meji, when we should start from the bottom. If the British Empire did not interfere with us to convert the indigenous, okay, was it the Igbo people that converted us to Nigeria? So ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ kó máa ronú sí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. I am not saying we should trust the Igbos. Neither do I say we should trust the Hausas. But the UK is operating a monarchy system. They destroy the same monarchy system that they met before 1914. In Timor, this Oriolokun is thousands of years older than even the British monarchy system. Was it the Igbo people that joined us together? Shane Lugard is an Igbo man. He's not. So why do we leave that one and then talk about the regional government that Aguru? Because that is the one, the narrative that the British kept in our eyes. And I won't be surprised that the British Empire was not involved in all that dealings as well, because we have now seen that years down the line, they killed people that wanted something that they don't want. People like Thomas Sankara was killed by the West. So what gave you impression that the British Empire or the West was not involved in the pull down of the regional government? They could use Agunrose because the British and the other European countries knew that Africa, for it to be great, they must take down some of us. Then you don't want to talk about Lancaster House, the decision that the British Empire was negotiating behind us each time they have tea and coffee in the round table, and Baba Olawa go back to his hotel or his house. Zik go back. Then the British will phone the North and say, look, the one way we do in the afternoon. And that is still what is being played till date when politicians are running in the middle of the night. That's why they say if politicians talk today now, in the morning, by 12 midnight, whatever they said is changed. That is the game the British played with us. So why is it that we don't want to talk about that one? Oh, is it because that one is too far? Because I know that if you calculate 1957 to the time that the regional government was pulled, if the British did not interfere with us as they've done, maybe Agunrose would not have been able to pull down the regional government. So that is the argument that I am presenting for Yoruba. I'm not here to sit to say you should love or hate the Igbos, but I'm arguing that what took place in London, they didn't allow me to go inside, but I have stayed in front of Lancaster House. That means I have felt the energy. What really transpired? Was it that the Igbos were negotiating behind us with the British Empire? Or was it that the British Empire or the British government, because the British Empire had a government that managed this country for the king? So what you're witnessing that I'm talking about, the state opening, Fenyomo Yoruba, because I know that this might be too big for you to understand. So in tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé ọba ilẹ̀ yìí ó wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá, ó wá sọ ohun tóun fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ìjọba tó ń bá òun operate láti ṣe fún wọn. And that is why they call it state opening. Ẹ la etí yín sílẹ̀, Nàìjíríà tẹ̀yìn rí yẹn, àwọn ìlú yìí ló dagboru tí a fi ń jìyà lénìí. I am living here. I enjoy life in the little I have. But the system to create power is not working. So every time I hear and the Igbo put down, Agurosi put down regional government, what took place before regional government? Was the empire honest with the ethnic groups, the indigenous people, the major tribes? Mukia TJ Baba. Let's go further. It is the only regular occasion when the three constituent part of parliament, the sovereign, the House of Lords, and House of Commons, meet. Ìjọ kan ní ayé ní ọdọọdún tí àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yẹn máa ń pàdé nìyẹn. Àwọn wá ní káwa máa lọ rọ́ọ̀nù politics agboolé tẹ̀ ń ṣe ní Nàìjíríà. And that is why ẹ sàsíra yín, ẹ ń para yín for politics. I don't think that the àwọn òyìnbó yìí máa ń para wọn fún politics, no. But kò ṣe pé àwọn náà wọn ní bó ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́. Let's go further. Now, when is the state opening? Question mark. State opening happens on the first day of a new parliamentary session or shortly after a general election. And I'll explain to you. You see the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, ìjọ táwọn cabinet tí wọ́n bá ti òyìnbó ló máa ń lò náà, tí wọ́n bá ti gbàgbọ́ mọ́ tó ti di pé méjì mẹ́ta mẹ́rin do not believe in our Prime Minister. Do you know what is going to happen? He must resign. You can see that their own system, no confidence. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, òyìnbó tí mo wá nìyẹn. Ìjọ tí wọ́n bá ti ní confidence with the Prime Minister, ọmọ ó resign nìyẹn. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti resign, a máa ṣe kí ni? Tó bá sì jẹ́ pé party ẹ̀ ló ṣì ń run. I think we're going to have a general election very soon as well. Ìdí tí a ṣe rí Prime Minister bí méjì or mẹ́ta léraléra is because conservative ṣì ni ó ṣì ń ṣe gbogbo kìíní yẹn. Àwọn lọ́sí wà in party, in government rather. My question saying among Yoruba and Nigerians this morning is, how many of you have confidence in your political party as a member of the party? Because some of you are carrying members of APC and PDP. Do you have confidence in them? If you do not have confidence in them, can we tell them to resign? You can see how they are playing our head. Do you have confidence in your politicians? Let's go further. Oh, God. What is state opening? 3:30 a.m. Koiki Media Live. Today is the 8th of November 2023, and welcome to the program. State opening happens on the first day of a new parliamentary session or shortly after a general election. The next state opening is Majesty the King first as monarch will take place on the 7th of November 2023, which happened yesterday in London. The last state opening of Parliament took place on the 10th of May 2022 at the start of 2022-2023 session of Parliament. So what we are witnessing now is 2023-2024. On this occasion, Parliament was opened by the then Prince of Wales. Yet he's sick there nígbà. So ọmọ ẹ̀ ló wá present, but nísìn ọmọ náà ti di ọba, and the Duke of Cambridge as councillors of state for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II presided, I want us to take note of this, presided over the state opening of Parliament in person on 67 occasions during her reign. 67 years. 67, opening of Parliament ní Queen ṣe. Ó dàgbà gan nínú ìjọba politics government tó run. Ṣé màá kó bó ṣe jẹ́ pé ó wà kó tó di pé Aláàfin kú nìyẹn. Ẹ imagine pé Aláàfin ikú bàbá yèyé tèmi láǹfààní àti rí. Ẹ imagine pé every year àwọn ló wá ń bá wa ṣe state opening tó máa decide tí àwọn fẹ́ kí Ṣèyí Mákindé, Ajímọ̀bí, or whoever was there, because gbogbo àwọn yẹn dé bá ọba yẹn wọ́n lọ ni, yàtọ̀ sí Ṣèyí Mákindé tó ṣì wà níbẹ̀ nítorí pé ọba dẹ̀ wàjà ni. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ikú bàbá yèyé náà àwọn náà pẹ́ lórí reign yẹn. Ẹ̀yà ká wá play padà pé ikú bàbá yèyé àti Queen Elizabeth, they are almost the same power, but ikú bàbá yèyé ò lè sọ tí Ọ̀yọ́ state máa ṣe. Queen ruled, the late Queen Elizabeth II ruled for 70 years. Ó tètè gba power yẹn nígbà tí bàbá ẹ̀ kú. Kódà rà pé wọ́n ní Kenya ló wà at the time tí bàbá ẹ̀ kú. I think Kenya tó fi padà wá sí Britain láti wá take over reign yẹn. But it's in reverse. Ẹ lọ wo gbogbo agbègbè ibi tí ikú bàbá yèyé tí palace gan wà, ẹ máa sunkún ni. That is the damage that they've done on us as ọmọ Yoruba. At least èmi dé palace yẹn. Nígbà tá a kọ́kọ́ débẹ̀ the very first time tí mo débẹ̀, bá ṣe wọlé bá ikú ní ta ló jókòó yìí, wọ́n ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwa tá jókòó. Okay, ẹni kí ó lè jáde. Ìgbòho ní coordinator mi ni, òun ò ní lè jáde. Ṣé pé kóun jókòó gbogbo tá máa sọ máa gbọ́ ni ẹ. Mo wá rí torchlight lọ́wọ́ ikú bàbá yèyé. Ìyà ti jẹ wá. Tí bá parọ́ àwọn tó súnmọ́ bàbá yẹn, ẹ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn àbí kó comment. Odindi ọ̀bàlẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n gbé rechargeable torchlight sí wọn lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, kábíyèsí Elédùmarè. Ó yẹ kó lọ máa gbé orí gbogbo ẹ̀yin NEPA yẹn, kó máa gbé wá kó máa fi mú kò mú ní palace ni. Tẹ́ bá ń disconnect iná. Wọ́n bí bàbá ẹ̀dá kò disconnect iná Buckingham Palace, ó fẹ́ kú ni. Wà disconnect iná tó wọnú Buckingham Palace. Èyí tó bá gan òsùnmọ́jú gan, iná gbọ́dọ̀ kú níbẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni iná yẹn kú pàkà pòkò lóòótọ́. So wọ́n ti wà aware pé problem máa ń wà pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ iná. Mo kí Mr. Perry. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, she was in Kenya when her father died. Ìyẹn Queen tó kú. I don't think some of you understand, what I'm saying. Ó dà pé ẹ get the gist yẹn àbí? Ẹ feel it. Mo ní mo dé palace ọba. Not even his palace, his resident. Because ibi tá ti lọ bá wọn, inú resident wọn. Mo wá rí tí kábíyèsí mú iná takuntakú ọgbẹ́sẹ̀gbẹ̀. Torí pé tí iná yẹn bá lọ, wá lè sáré tàn yẹn. Tó máa fi tàn generator. Ní odindi palace ọ̀bàlẹ̀ Yorùbá. That is the damage that they've done. but kò jọ yín lójú torí pé the same problem tó bá ń face lẹ́yìn náà ń face náà ọba ò níná yìí náà níná so same Buckingham Palace níná èmi náà níná ṣe rí pé ó dọ́gba. That is why some of you are so blockhead orí yín ti gbálẹ̀ ẹ lè rí understanding táwa ń sọ because èmi ti gbé òṣùwọ̀n ọba wa yẹn mo ti gbé pẹ̀lú ọba tó kú ti tàná ọba ikú bàbá yèyé ò kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ ọmọ ní Prince Charles àbí ọba nísìn ló jẹ́ sí ikú bàbá yèyé ikú bàbá yèyé àti Queen the same pa lọ́wọ́ àtọ́ọ̀bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọba ikú bàbá yèyé gan náà kó fẹ́ ju Queen lọ ní ọjọ́ orí ọba yẹn làwọn wá fi ta yín títí pẹ̀lú àwọn olóṣèlú. So let's go further because aago mẹ́rin mo fẹ́ parí ètò yìí mo fẹ́ padà lọ sórí bẹ́ẹ̀dì lọ sùn tèmi. What happens during state opening? Wọ́n ní kí ló máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀? Èèyàn kan ní gan sẹ pé ní palace Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ gan kò síná gan níbẹ̀. State opening is the main ceremonial event of the parliamentary calendar, normally attracting large crowds and a significant television and online audience. The monarch arrived at the sovereign entrance. Sovereign here, tabanika lọ́wọ́ English dictionary meaning sovereign. According to the English dictionary, on the law. Can it meaning? Okay, sovereign. Okay, ó ti jáde. Wọ́n ní tọ́ba yẹn bá dé. Okay, wọ́n ní ọba, wọ́n ní Queen ó dàgbà díẹ̀ ju ọba Aláàfin lọ. Sovereign. Ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n sọ níbi wà nísìnyí pé ọba King Charles tó bá dé, the monarch arrived at the sovereign entrance. Tabawa lọ bèrè kí ni meaning? Sovereign. A supreme ruler, especially a monarch. What is the true meaning of sovereign? One possessing or held to possess a supreme political power or sovereignty. Ọba nìkan ló ń jẹrú ayé yẹn. Gbogbo tí King Charles bá ṣe àṣegbé ní nísìn, it will never be questioned. Ọba Yoruba máa ṣe nǹkan, but local government chairman ní ẹ bá lọ bèrè pé kí ló dé tí kú bàbá yèyé ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, ó yẹ kó bẹ orí ẹ̀ kó gbé fóògùn ni. But that is what they created for us. That is the mess that we found ourselves. How we rectify it now is why we are saying, Mokofe moves one step back, let's say self-determination. In term practice, Nigeria is not self-determination. It is just politics, straight politics. Politics are mashetiti, politics are this, politics are that. But we are talking about the indigenous people to assert the indigenous people right to self-determination. What does self-determination mean? Self-determination, the power or ability to make a decision for oneself without influence from outside. Politics, when we have our own independent country, any relationship, any trade with countries around the world, but we will be able to govern and choose our own government. I know that today, they choose government through the ballot system every 4 years. Vote for us, vote for us, vote for us. They will put a campaign and people will say, okay, SDP da, PDP da, Labour Party da, APC da, and you vote for them. But I don't think even that is honest because majority don't vote. The percentage is very low. That means that many Nigerians disagree even with the voting system. Calculate how many people voted in this last election. They're not up to 40 million altogether. Out of 200 million, give and take. So that number should be higher than that, but it shows that the participation of election in Nigeria continues to drop. I don't have the data with me. So when we talk about self-determination, is it what we should ask for? Or should we remain in Nigeria and pretend? I am asking again, Nigeria after 63 years, what role should we, Yoruba, play to keep it or break it now for the next future? Role we can play. Should we play a role to keep Nigeria for the next future? Or should we play a role where it gets dissolved? Mokiyami Folashade Ojoeba and Kigrama Ninole náà. Àdúrà yẹn gbà. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí ìjókòó pẹ̀lú wa nínú ilé. Mo kí ẹ̀yin bàbá wa ní Belgium, Australia, New Zealand. Gbogbo bí wọ́n ti ń wo Koiki Media ni mo dárúkọ yẹn. Mo kí Sami Japan. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Amacolex. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àbúrò wa. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ní Dìrókò. Role wo lẹ fẹ́ ká play? Do you want us to keep Nigeria together? Mo kí bàbá wa David Adegoke. We will have our own government where there will be freedom of speech and freedom of movement. But the most important thing, Tafin Sokwa Fe Yoruba Nation, is because we want to protect and preserve our identity. That is the key. Ìyẹn gangan ló lórí ọ̀rọ̀ afẹ́kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Ṣẹ́rí gbogbo afẹ́kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà Fúlàní pa wá yẹn is just a very tiny aspect. Ìyẹn is under a security that the Yoruba government would have to deal with. But the reason why we want to keep away from Nigeria so that ní ọjọ́ iwájú, tí bá ní ọjọ́ iwájú, I'm talking about another 1,000 years from today, when we are all dead. Àwọn tó máa ṣe wà níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn, wá lè mọ̀ pé we played a role. Àwọn kan wá sọ pé, but it shouldn't happen. We should continue to try to unnest and preserve Nigeria. And I'm asking, why should we preserve Nigeria? Because that is what the British Empire created. When we can keep our own identity, our culture, our language, which is our ways of life, that does not mean that we are, we disagree or we hate other ethnic or indigenous people. But many of you still want to keep Nigeria in the hope that it will unnest. It will one day become the economy giant of Africa. It will become a place that we can live together as one block. When you know that you are still the same people that will be telling us look, why can't we stop that history of Igbo Lopa regional government? Let's even break it now and let everybody go their separate ways. What is the problem with that? Because you will still be reminding the Igbos, for those that put that argument up all the time. And even if you have a country of your own, do you think that America is only one particular ethnic people that lives there? There are multiple numbers of people that live there. So when we are sitting here and talking that we want self-determination, you're not going to get a Yoruba nation that it's not going to work. There will be different other people that will want to come and survive on our territory, just like they are doing right now. So you must start understanding this. We don't like the Igbo. All that is just, a different thing entirely. The most important thing is we have our identity, we keep our own government, we control our own resources, and all those ones there. So it will be under, even as Nigeria is going to divide, those that we have lived together, you can't tell them to go out of your territory. You will just have to control and allow them to now be embedded into a new data. Maybe some of you don't understand that. Or you think that when you have a Yoruba country, oh yeah, make una they go back, go Biafra land. It doesn't work like that. That is not international standard. If it did not, you want to have a country like North Korea? Even North Korea allows people to come in and go. There was a case of an American soldier that walked into North Korea, I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He had issue, in America, whatever he is part of. But all of a sudden, he just walked as a visitor into North Korea. And America doesn't have good relationship with North Korea. He has left now anyway. Even the North Korea that they give, even though the impression that they give us with North Korea might be wrong or right, but whatever it is, North Korea still allows, foreigners. Okay, when you go there, you respect the rules of the law of North Korea. Just as I live here, you think all the English people want me to be here because okay, TJ, thanks so much. The English people believe that I am taking their job. They believe that we are becoming too much in this country as an immigrant. So the first step we should deal with is to talk about the dissolution of that contraction you call Nigeria. After that, all other issues are deal with. But many of you don't think in that direction. And it's a big shame because these politics of every 4 years, because mind the anything, many people will be thinking by 2027, Atulo will vote for me, or probably will bring back Tinubu again. Okay, after Tinubu, then the power goes to the north. What about the Igbos? Shamu non she part of Nigeria. So if you think that we don't love each other, then let's dissolve the country. Let everybody go their separate ways. That shouldn't be a problem. Let me just quickly read through the state parliament. The monarch arrives at the sovereign entrance and proceeds to the Robin Hood, wearing the imperial state crown and the robe of state. He leads the royal procession through the royal gallery, packed with 600 guests, to the chamber of House of Lords. The House of Lords, officially known as the Black Rod, is sent to summon the commons. The doors to look at the proceeding. If you look at the choreography of all these things, I'm sure some of you have seen it before. If you haven't seen it, go and watch the video. You will be impressed how they still keep that system. And that system will continue, even though some British citizens, I have heard them, do not want that monarchy system anymore. They're fighting, they're campaigning for it to be brought down. Hello, choreography. Gbogbo tí mo kọ ránkà ẹ̀yẹn lọ wo bí ó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kákọ́ wá sílẹ̀kùn wọ́n rìn wọ́n máa ṣe British ló níyẹn lọ́wọ́. When it comes to choreography, you can't beat them to it. They're very good at it. The Black Rod strikes the door 3 times before it is opened. Members of the House of Commons then follow the Black Rod and the Common Speaker to the Lord's Chamber, standing at the opposite end to the throne, known as the Bar of House, to listen to the speech. Imagine what I'm reading right now is what and how Alaafin or Ooni of Ife is being presented to come and give us state opening, to say to the government that is working for him that this is what I want for the next parliament. You don't like that, is it? Some of you don't understand why we want Yoruba nation. Some of you are just thinking maybe we're just jobless. We don't have work to do. Years the mom me fi ṣiṣẹ́ ní House of Lords. It was a privilege to work in there. It's a privilege. To bá ṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀, ẹ máa kọlura yín ni pẹ̀lú àwọn lords, àwọn yẹn tó ju àwọn MP lọ, àwọn àgbàlagbà oyè làwọn yẹn. Ibi tí màmá sí mi ti retire ni. And say why you're dealing with a highly intelligent man. I've lived here with the British for 25 years. I've seen their own system work. But the system to create for in that contraction called Nigeria was never meant to work. Especially knowing what we know now, you realize that something is not right. Can you hear the siren? Is it a police or ambulance? At 4 a.m., it is called 24/7. We're almost going to end the program in 8 minutes. After the monarch's speech, when the monarch leaves, a new parliamentary section starts. And the parliament gets back to work. Members of both houses debate the content of the speech, which is what should be happening. Whichever one of them. Then the government start debating about the content. Kini content? I'm not talking about the content. Then she we, I drop money. I want to test somebody. Why are you testing somebody? If the country was good, you drop money here, people will take the money, they walk away. That is what Nigerians are doing now. Everybody's doing content. They pinch somebody, he put his leg up, they take the slippers, and they're making huge traffic on YouTube, and everybody's making money. I saw another one. Hey, this girl they sell pure water. This girl they sell pure water. She gets a bit of hand. We don't come out like that, but she's still working. She no be low show. In the first place, I'm sure some of you have seen that video. In the first place, Nile Yoruba. I think she's from Osun State. She find her way to Lagos because Lagos is the bustling and hustling. If you do what in Bosu to also the only problem is you cannot drink bottled water like this. You have to buy bottled water. I just pay Oshiwoke there, but most of you drink sachet water. I pity a lot of you. Could you come and in the first place? Even with a physical challenge, but it's because the system is not working. So somebody now say, hey, I gave her 400,000. Yeah, you give her 400,000 because you're making money from all the content that you're doing. If I want to be doing content to Mama Derek, you kill me with Mama content in Malaysia. But that is not what I want to do. TJ Babani, people with physical challenge here in America, they are on the government pay. But it's only in Nigeria that somebody will do a short video and say, hey, look at the girl, look at the girl. And the video say, hey, my uncle, Adeleke, look at this girl. Can't you see that she's from Osun State selling water? If the girl had opportunity in Osun State, she should not have traveled to Lagos and be selling pure water or bottled water. So what we are doing is, look, I can tell my team, I'll give them instruction and say, find anywhere, anybody will get disability, do the video, let it blow. So we can come and say, Ebawa, raise a wall. I mean, I'm not saying that those that are doing it, are not genuine. You think I can't do that as well? I'll make a lot of money and I'll be doing my little best. I wish us a very good morning. My name is Olami Koiki. As I leave you again, I'm asking these two questions. Self-determination, the right of a people to form their own state and choose their own government. And the second headline says, and I quote, Nigeria after 63 years. What role should we Yoruba play to keep it or break it now for the next future? You can write in the comment section. I'll read it later. Which one do you prefer? We keep it or we break it? Which one do you prefer? Should we keep it or we break it? 5 o'clock in Nigeria, 4 o'clock in London, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 11 o'clock some part in America, and 10 o'clock some part in America. In Dubai, 1, 2, 3, 7 a.m. In Qatar, 7 a.m. In Japan, almost afternoon. The world is not going to wait for me and you. Let us pull it down so that we can have a better future. Ayomikon, my brother, says we should never play any role keeping Nigeria because Nigeria is a continuation of a slavery camp. Mr. Clement says you buy bottled water at store, not the poor people hawking. What about fully qualified graduates? No industry to pave or allow growth and empowerment. 758 in Dubai. Mr. Perry, thank you so much. So, as we leave you again, Mr. Bamidele Akombi, Aziz, Silver Badmos, thank you so much. Say, thanks, brother, for your day and night. Some people are saying I'm losing weight. Don't worry. I just need to tell my wife to cook more pounded yam for me, and I'll be fine. Thank you so much once again to each and every one of you that have joined us. Moki ini ibikibitebawa around the world. The education will continue. And one day, those of you that still want to keep that country, you will get the message and you will allow us to allow it to dissolve. Engineer Lawale, don't give any one of them money. Many Nigerians don't have sense. They like to be supporting the oppressor, even they don't even money though. So I don't have any money to give anybody. Thank you so much, engineer. Engineer Tibinula Arroyo. Mr. Omokaro Friday David, good morning. Alan Conde said, Nigeria is a family business to our politicians and our king. He also went further to say the politics they are running in Nigeria is politics of intimidating, violent, crime, criminal, killing, kidnap, no care of the citizens and their family business. Yeah, Mr. Adisa says you are right. Thank you so much to every one of you. And I think I've captured Mr. Said Balogun. Thank you so much. If I didn't mention your name, don't get upset. It's just that maybe we didn't pick your comment. Thank you to my mom for standing behind. Thank you to my family as well. So I'm going to go back to bed. And I think I've done justice to it. We'll be back again later in the day. But for now, Orayola Masun. Mokiwa pe Obeledumare kò ní jẹ́ kí wọ́n gbalẹ̀ yọ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Mo wá kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà, mo kí gbogbo ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá belongs to us and nobody must take it away from us. Have a very good morning. And as I say all the time, we all have a role to play. I am just playing mine. Don't worry about it. Just play yours and everything will be fine. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ èdè wa, ká gbéga, ká gbéga, ká gbéga fàlẹ́rí ìgbàgbọ́. Bá ti bẹ̀rù, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́. Ìṣọ̀kan, ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Odùduwà. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Good morning and bye for now.